The high unemployment rate in Ghana continues to alarm the country's youth and successive governments. According to statistics, Ghana has more than 635,000 unemployed individuals as of 2022. In response to the rising rate of youth unemployment, the government began encouraging young people to pursue entrepreneurship. However, many of these entrepreneurs encounter many difficulties. Co-founder of Medbox and entrepreneur, Davy Ofori Emmanuel, shares some of his struggles with us.
At Medbox, what we do is we help chronic and diabetic patients carefully manage their body vitals and medications. Funding is one of the greatest challenges that entrepreneurs have, because as a startup, you need a lot of funds to be able to regulate and operate. Unlike big businesses, they have other ventures that they can look into, but startups need a lot of money to be able to enter into various ventures, and it's part of our challenges.
So apart from funding, are there other challenges that you are facing?
Yes, they are. So as a startup, you need to be introduced to a lot of stakeholders to be able to help you build your business. And I think here in Ghana, most of the stakeholders don't really open up for entrepreneurs or startups to be able to look into how they can help them. And I think that is where we lack. Getting in touch with stakeholders and opening up to support is very small.
There are many institutions that are offering SMEs and small businesses various grants. I know of MTN, I know Societe Generale has a grant, and then there's the Africa Prize for Engineering Innovation, of which you have been a participant. What other solutions, what other ways can we help businesses, small businesses and entrepreneurs in the country to sustain their businesses and scale up?
I think one of the things that can really help is partnership. Businesses, big businesses like other big stakeholders can partner with small and upcoming startups and to be able to open up and hold their hands into the big market, because startups don't really have the strength to be able to survive alone. They need partners that can help them scale up and also increase sales. So if you have stakeholders helping you, you move faster than moving alone.
Obed Zah, another entrepreneur, has had to rely on partnerships with other businesses to gain access to markets.
So I think every entrepreneur in Ghana has challenges. Yeah, like I also have challenges as an entrepreneur in Ghana. We are into water management solutions in Ghana. It is our aim that everybody gets access to water all year round in Ghana, in Africa as well. So, for example, access to market is not that open. We're trying to leverage on strategic partnership with stakeholders to get access to our market. Funding, yes, funding is also another challenge that we are facing, especially for those of us who are still in the startup space. We have different levels of businesses, business growth, but those of us in the startup space, it's not that easy to get access to funding. Yeah, so I believe that is really a major challenge that entrepreneurs are facing in this country.
Davy Ofori Emmanuel refutes claims that most entrepreneurs aren't developing concepts or solutions that tackle pressing social issues.
Every business has a chance of, winning or trying to survive. It depends on the structure or the procedure entrepreneurs try to use in terms of building businesses up. And I think every business also need wins and startup funding and stakeholders to be able to, shift and also redefine the idea of the business. Because when you have a business idea, you start up, you need to redefine it to fit a specific market. So you cannot just say, okay, this business doesn't really work. Sometimes you need to redefine yourself, change the market size, try a different geographical space for you to be able to strive. So most of the Ghanaian entrepreneurs create ideas, but then they need a specific market, and these stakeholders can also help us get into the market. So what we are trying to do is currently trying to build a very operational business that can allow other engineers from the universities to be able to fit in directly. What we do, we also have training procedures or training documentation for newly people coming in, to be able to learn, because on the job you need a lot of skills, and people coming out from these institutions or the universities are not really skilled to fit, but we want to bring them on board. So how do we do that? We have training sections on our program or in a company that allows them to be able to learn on the job so that they can create value for the company. I want to use this opportunity to also let my other entrepreneurs out there to also look at the Royal Academy of Engineering and Africa Prize for Innovation. They have a very good program for entrepreneurs in Africa to be able to expand in terms of business operations and also how to create a very scalable business.
Obed tells me that in order to contribute to economic progress, the government and policymakers need to find additional ways to assist local startups in expanding and becoming multinational corporations.
The major stakeholders, the policymakers and the decision makers should do more to reach out to young businesses or entrepreneurs in Ghana. In other words, to publicize their activities and then the good things that they're offering young businesses in Ghana more. There should be more publicity on that. In addition, existing businesses that have actually taken deep root should be willing to adopt smaller businesses and then also nurture and provide some sort of mentorship for them to grow. It's not just enough to look at the small and then the medium enterprises, but then also looking at those in the startup stage, those that are in the seed stage, would also help this country a lot in addressing our challenges. I have personally not met businesses that are not really meeting a demand or a problem in this country. But what I know is that most of these young businesses are dying off because of the challenge that they are going through and then the various setbacks that they have to go through. That is why they are folding up. But for all the business and then my network that I've seen, everybody is trying to at least address a challenge that would impact people in this country. Those that I've met have a ready market here in Ghana, and then they are also doing all that it is in their power to at least market that which they have to the general public. But for those of us in the seed stage and also in the startup stage, what I've also realized is that although there might be a demand for your product, they do not have the resources to actually produce to meet that demand, and that is what is really stressing such young businesses out. So you could see that a young entrepreneur has received an order for maybe 100 or 50, and then he doesn't have the capacity to produce that. He gets frustrated, and that makes him lose credibility in other stuff in the market. Then the entrepreneur decides to give up. Yeah. So from my side, like I said, I've come across a lot of people who are producing things that are impactful in Ghana's market, and then people need them.
From your perspective, would you say there's a ready market for most of the products and services that entrepreneurs in Ghana come out with? And if there's not, do you think entrepreneurs are doing enough to market their products locally?
Well, in terms of market, there is. You just have to be strategic in what kind of product you are bringing out and what kind of solution you are bringing out, and be able to narrow down the specific. I think what most entrepreneurs, the mistake we create is that we try to have a very big market expectation, but sometimes you don't need a really big market. You need a very small, narrow paying market that can be able to make your business valuable.
As an entrepreneur, what measures or strategies are you exploring to help you meet international standards, I would say, so that you can be able to export your product or service?
So I would say the Royal Academy of Engineering Africa Prize for Engineering Innovations has been one of the tools we are using to make sure that we be able to do things that are internationally accepted in this country. So for instance, so such programs, right, apart from the Royal Academy of Engineering, we are also looking at strategic partnership with existing businesses and existing agencies globally to help us reach the market target, or to even have some sort of international certifications for our products right here in Ghana. So these are the two things that we are doing: strategic partnership and then leveraging on our network to get to the next level.
These are some of the challenges that entrepreneurs in Ghana are currently facing. They've listed a number of them: access to funding and access to markets. So the question is, should we really leave Ghana's unemployment situation in the hands of the teeming youth? For Joy Business, Jesse Ayra Magbakbo.